I'm in the booth. Don't shoot. Which I need some proof.
Introducing
Watch my
the
videos,
two
man.
racks a
2
week
racks a week
challenge.
Ronnie Speed, yeah, Ronnie Speed. When I drive, I make
video, and then where you were just showing all your 2500. I said, okay, all right. I said I can get with that.
Introducing the 2 racks a week challenge.
When I drive, I make 2 racks a week. Ronnie Speed, yeah, Ronnie Speed.
What's going on, people? Ronnie Speed coming back. Man, you know what time it is, man. Another 2 racks a week challenge. Here we have Shamar. And Shamar, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long you been driving? What market you driving in?
What's up, guys? I'm Shamar. I'm based out of Portland, Oregon. I started driving right as I turned 21. I'm 23, going on 24 now. So right now, approaching on about 2.5 years, 3 years now. I used to work a regular job before I did it. I did it on the side of a job. I worked at Lowe's. I wasn't getting the amount of money I wanted in a 2-week period or a monthly period. So I just decided to bet on myself and go full time with Uber. Coming from Lowe's, I worked 9-hour shifts. I was full time there. I worked about 5 to 6 days a week. It just depends. And I was breaking less than like $1,000 each check. So I just bet on myself and said, hey, I'll just do the 9 hours a day in Uber then. And about last week, I ended up doing 57 hours of Uber and made about like $2,100. So it's worth it.
Oh, hold on. We got to get one there real quick. Not too shabby. 57 hours, over 2,000, 2,100. So, yeah, man. So before we get into the nitty gritty, of course, how exactly did you find my content and figure out the 2 racks a week challenge?
Honestly, what was I doing? I'm pretty sure it was like last year sometime. I ended up having like COVID in July, and I was just going around like I didn't really have much to do. I just sat at home, so I went on my YouTube and searched up like tips on like Uber driving, basically, because I always wanted to make more, and I feel like I could always do better. And then I ended up coming across your channel, and I seen like the 2 racks a week. I was like, okay, no, this dude's cool. I instantly subbed.
Yeah,
It's just something I could vibe with. I instantly subbed, and I just been tuned in ever since.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Yeah, man. Like when you was giving that quick monologue, like you said something interesting. Like you quit Lowe's because like you wanted to bet on yourself, man. So talk about like how you had to like readapt your mindset to like leaving the job to transition over to doing rideshare because everything is on you at that point.
Yeah. Mindset wise, like my mindset going into jobs anyway, I wouldn't really advise for like a lot of other people because I look at it, it's just like a job is a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's millions of other jobs out there. So like doing kind of like ride sharing is kind of like honestly being like an entrepreneur. Like honestly, like I do music anyway on the side. So it's just like I'm already betting on myself. So for me, it's kind of easy to get in the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And with like doing music and stuff, it's a lot of money that has to get put into. I know it's a lot of money that has to get put into the music anyway, and that's recording videos, all that. I don't even have a setup. I just go to the studio, so it's just like my mindset already is okay. If I'm making, think I was less than $2,000 a month. That was just my triggering point for me anyway. I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of letting myself down. I'm trying to chase a dream, but I can't chase it properly because I don't have the correct funds to go and chase it.
Right.
And that was my mindset for me. So I said Uber can definitely give me the funds if I work hard enough. Because at the end of the day, it's on you about how much you want to make in a week, and it's on you about how much you want to make in a day. Like there's really no ceiling and no limit. If you work 12 hours a day, that's the max that you can do before you can take your little 5-hour break.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you do that, it's just, for me, it was just self-explanatory just to go that route.
Yeah, man. Same here, man. I know exactly how you feel, man. So, like, once you told like your family or friends, like, you know what, fuck this job, I'm leaving. I'm about to just do ride share, like to supplement my income. What did they say? What were their thoughts about it?
Honestly, they've all been pretty supportive.
Okay.
Um, my brother actually used to do Uber, and he did it on part time on the side of his job, so he
Mhm.
already knew it was pretty good. Um, my parents though, like I still live with them, so they're supportive of everything I do. So they already seen the money that could be made with it before with my brother, so it was easy for them to support. My friends, the little small group of friends I have, they were of course supportive of it. It's like
Okay.
our mindsets are different. Like they still work like normal jobs and stuff like that, and I'm doing this, but it's like I'm not gonna bash it. Everybody has their own
Yeah.
little hustle, so
Mhm.
sometimes just the like self-employed life isn't for everybody, and
Right.
I get
Right.
that. So
Right. Well, since you quit your job, now you're making, more money doing Uber. Like how has your music career like benefited like from this now?
um it's benefited a lot. I
Mhm.
feel like personally I've had time to sit here and like as I'm driving, I can sit here and like listen to something.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll listen to a podcast before I go to sleep at night. I watch like YouTube videos and stuff like that. Um Personally it's allowed me more like studio time
Hmm.
because I can like that's the perk of being of that's the perk of being an Uber driver. You can kind of like go offline. If you reach the good goal in a week, it's like, okay, cool, I can schedule a session here. I can fit in videos here.
Right.
Um,
Right.
it's benefited me a lot because I'm able to shoot more videos and book more studio sessions and stuff like that, which is all stuff I want to do. So,
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. I know exactly what you mean, know exactly how it is. So why do you think people, stay in situations that they, truly not passionate about or that they hate? Because I'm pretty sure that you meet people all the time, but yeah, I'm just going to work or I don't feel like going or I hate my
all the time.
job. Why do you think people's like, just stay there? And then people like me and you, like, man, fuck this. I'm about to go after my dreams.
Um, Personally, I think it's just because people are comfortable. Um,
Hmm.
Staying at a job, like going to work every day, working 40 hours a week, is kind of the sense of security. They have a sense of
Yeah.
security with it, so they feel secure, and then they know it's guaranteed because they have to go. Because if they don't go, no money's coming in, and if they don't go, they'll get fired.
Right.
So like with what we do, like if you put somebody else like kind of in our position who's maybe not so passionate and they kind of like hate their job but they stay at it, they would they might end up folding because the mindset's not there because they hate their job. But if they're not showing up for themselves at work, they're not going to show up for themselves in the long run if they want to go on like the path of entrepreneurship.
Right. Right. Yeah, man, that's definitely true. So now since some people, transition from a normal job to doing the Uber or Lyft, some people like, struggle to make money or just struggle with their, disciplines. What's some of your disciplines? Like what keeps you going and how do you stay focused as far as, like making enough money to support yourself and support, your dreams?
For me, I'm goal driven. I have like a brother who's also kind of he's been locked up since I was in like eighth grade,
Hmm.
going into summer. So that's kind of like motivation for me already. Just for like when he gets out, have him see like what I'm doing, and that's gonna want to push him to get better too.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can like even help him out. So for me, it could just comes from personal stuff. As far as like disciplines for me, um, I usually try if I can't hit 9 hours a day, I gotta get as close to it as possible. I
Yeah.
don't really like driving super late at night.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I've been doing it out here. It's just because it's a different market. So out here the nightlife isn't there's more bars and stuff like that. So I get more
Yeah.
of that crowd,
Yeah.
which I don't really like. But discipline is usually 9 hours a day. If I was working at Lowe's, I'd be doing the 9 hours a day. So
Mm.
I just try and compare it to my past job. And I always want to do better than what I did in the past. So that's just kind of my discipline right there. If I can't hit 9, then I'll do 8. If I'm too tired for 8, I'm doing 7 or 6, just in
Right.
there. Um, and just the fact of trying to go out every single day and do it. Um, knowing that if I don't do it, no money's coming in. And then if I don't do it for a week, well, if something happens to where if I get sick or something like that for a week and I'm unable to work, I'm not going to have the money financially to sit here and support myself while I'm sick. So,
Right, right. Yeah, man. So why do you think people don't make like other drivers don't make 2,000 like in a week? Like what do you think about that?
um, it really just depends on how they're looking at it. And with Uber, you have a slow period. Um, some of them just don't make it past the little slow period. Like sometimes I know out here in my market, it starts off really slow, and then me, I know I'm in it for the long haul. Like I know, all right, cool. I'm 2 hours in. I've done like a ride. I mainly been doing more driving than rides, but knowing that I'm gonna be out for 9 hours helps me because I know at some point it's gonna pick up.
Right, right.
And I don't think they get past that little slow part of their day. If they're starting out too slow, they're just like, screw it, I'm just gonna go home. Or they look at it more as like if they do it full time, they're probably still looking at it as like just a side hustle or just a cool, it's just a little inconvenience. I can get a quick little 150 here, and I can work like 2 hours or 3 hours today, make another 100. Just mindset.
Right, right. Yeah. I you're right, man. It is the mindset because it's a little different from like, working a normal job because a lot of people haven't learned those disciplines and they really don't understand it. So it's like you really have to be self-sufficient, set goals, wake up early, and pursuing something. Like
Yeah,
having to readapt, being able to readapt your mindset to certain situations, and having a vision, like and pursuing something else besides just driving, man. If you only just driving, man, driving is gonna be very hard because that's
yeah,
all this. It's gonna feel like, damn, that's your whole life. Like, because some people say that, like, oh, I just drive a life. How do you have a life? But I got a life. I drive, make content, talk to people.
yep,
I still date. So it's like, how do you not have a life, man?
right, yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta have like other things going on, man. So how do you think people can benefit from this 2 racks a week challenge? Or like, yeah, how do you think they can benefit from this 2 racks a week challenge?
Um, I feel like if people set their mind to it to go and do it, that's all I did in a week. What really kicked in for me personally, was when I was sick. I'll just be like completely like transparent. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
I still got bills, but I didn't like the week before I got sick. I was kind of lackadaisical on Uber, and then it showed in the week I got sick because I went negative. It was like I think like $130 negative or something like that. So I got pissed off at myself for not putting in the effort and whatnot. And then like I said, I was just mad. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna work as close to 60 hours as I can get. But at the end goal, I want to make the 2 racks a week. It's gonna be a bounce back week, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna carry that momentum to this week. I feel like people can benefit just by like you kind of learn a lot about yourself
Yep.
in doing it. Like if you never worked 60 hours before in your life, you learn like you might be tired going into the next week, or you'll be more motivated to do it again.
Hmm.
Everybody reacts differently, but it's all about, like I said, it's all about your mindset and how you look at it. Um, like I said, me personally, I've been kind of more tired. Um, Going into this week, I've been taking naps, but I know at the end of the day, I still have a job to go out and do. The job's not finished. I can't be done yet.
Yeah, man. You're right. And that's like the one of the benefits, man. Because you learn a lot about yourself, man. Because sometimes you don't have to hit 60 hours to make 2,000, but other times you do, and you like, damn, man, I fell short this week, or I gotta prioritize this differently. Maybe I gotta wake up a little bit earlier. Maybe I get some more sleep.
Yeah,
It's like it's a constant like internal battle, with yourself and who you are as a person. And like you said, man, I gotta get the job done, man. Like regardless, I gotta get this money. But like
yep,
once you was making like 2,100, was that the highest that you made so far?
yeah,
And was that as hard as you thought it was?
no, not at all.
Yeah. That's a lot of people don't really understand because, oh, well, look how many hours. Because some people try to use that excuse like towards me. Well, look how many hours you had to do. Forget that you hit your goal. Look at how many hours or what about this. They'll try to find ways to disqualify you. But, you know,
Yeah,
like it's multiple ways to skin a cat. I mean, you have 7 days in a week. So I mean, 60 hours is, not as hard as, most people think it is, man. You just gotta be disciplined, maybe sacrifice a little bit and, be able to, get to your goals, man. But
yeah.
before we get up out of here, man, like what type of advice would you have to the new drivers or just drivers that's been driving for a little bit that's struggling that hasn't made $2,000 in a week?
Um, my advice if you're new, keep at it. Don't give up. There's gonna be times where it's gonna be every job has a slow period.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I know in my market in Portland, it's start of the year.
Yep.
Uh Sometimes like I don't think like this anymore, but when I first started, I wanted to just be done. When January and February came around, I was out driving for 2 and 3 hours and making like $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which out here is like minimum wage, it's not a lot. And other places it is a lot. Um, don't quit, just keep going. It's gonna be worth it for you in the long haul. I say for the drivers right now that have been doing it for a couple years, and for the ones that are struggling right now, uh, if you're struggling and you've been doing it for a couple years, it's gonna kind of end up messing with your mindset. I would say get up, listening to some PD, like personal development.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that really helped me um, mentally. Working long weeks, that definitely helps out a lot. It doesn't even have to be like you don't have to listen to it in the car. Listen
Yeah.
to it before you start your week. Listen to it like when you go to sleep at night. Play it subconsciously. Your mind's gonna hear it, and then you'll think about it when you wake up. And then just keep going. Like forget the slow times. Just set a goal. If you realistically 60 hours a week is like less than like 8.5 hours a day.
Right.
So if you can just set aside time and just sit here and knock out the 8.5 hours, you can even go in increments. You could do 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours later at night. There's different ways you could do it. You could do it in 2 hour increments, you know what I mean? Three.
Yeah.
So just start getting creative. Maybe if you're struggling, experience like different times. If you're out working, I know for me personally, I'll switch it up a lot. I'll go from 12 to 9, which is like super sweet out here where I'm at. So if you're a Portland driver, 12 to 9 is a really good sweet spot. Um, I'll even go in the mornings. Like sometimes watching your videos inspired me to wake up early. Uh, I'll even wake up sometimes, or if I don't go to sleep, I'll stay up and go from like 3 in the morning until like 7 or 8. And then
Okay.
I'll get like the little airport rides. If you don't want to deal with like drunk passengers in the bar crowd, go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, start like 4 or something. Go
Yeah.
from like 4 until like 10. And with the airport rides, you get a lot of money anyway. So you might end up being at like 150, 200 in the 6 hours just by switching it up.
Yep.
So I would say like don't get too comfortable, switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, man. That's awesome advice. And before I get up here, I want to drop a couple gems myself, man. Like he said, man, don't quit, man. When times get hard, just stick with it, because it will be sunshine at the end of the tunnel or whatever the phrase is. Like it will get easier because some people, I think they give up too early. Like, I think most people have never, especially if you coming from like a job, more than likely you never dealt with like any type of like adversity because this is totally different because it's all on you. Then you're gonna have go through repairs and flat tires and you know and sometimes it just happens back to back. You're like, damn, what the fuck is going on? And man, it may not be worth it, but stick with it, man. Especially if you got big dreams, man, because you can make it happen. I mean, I'm not trying to, sound corny or nothing, but you could really, make things happen and you could really overcome this. And like you will learn a lot about yourself and the hard times, man. You know, and that's what this the whole two racks a week challenge is about, man. Learn about yourself, making this money, getting your confidence up and pursuing things that you really want to pursue, man. Just using this as leverage, going from one lily pad to the next lily pad, and that's pretty much it, man. Well, thanks, Shamar. I want to thank you, man, for doing this interview. Like I said, man, we have another 2 racks a week winner. So until next time, man, I'll catch y'all next Tuesday. Holla back.
2 racks a
Peace.
week. Ronnie Speed. Yeah, Ronnie Speed. 60 hours.